Welcome everybody to the Thinning Out Loud podcast with your host Dan, that's me, and Liam.
Hi, that's me.
And we have a special guest tonight, Richard, who we call Big Red.
Hi.
That's Red, Big Red. Here we actually talk about games, movies, and stuff that's generally taken our fancy in the world over the last fortnight. Tonight's going to be a bit of a more streamlined show. It's not going to be filled with our normal kind of between news stories and stuff like that. We've got two news stories tonight. That is, Star Wars came out last night. We all went and watched it. That's why Red is here for our balancing third point of view.
Oh, is it balancing?
Oh, I don't know, because me and Liam are normally fairly, like, not polar opposite, but sometimes we agree, but we have differing points of view quite often. So having a third point of view is going to be helpful. And then there's something else that happened literally today, which we're going to be talking about as well.
It's been going for a while.
Yes, we have been talking about it a little bit for a while.
Were we starting with the Fox News or Star Wars?
Oh, don't spoil the podcast there, Red. You got to build some anticipation. Jesus, is this your first time doing something like this? Probably. It's alright.
Second
time. Alright. We're gonna fucking whatever, veteran.
I'm no Joe Rogan.
He's no Joe Rogan. No, none of us are Joe Rogan. As you can tell by our viewer count on our videos. Alright, so Star Wars. What do we think?
I feel like people should be able to see my face.
Yes.
People see the disappointment
in your face. You mask it very well with the gleeful look that you always have.
I just enjoy being here.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. Alright, so I have a few points that are good to kind of bring out probably. So Leia, I should pronounce that.
Jesus Christ!
Right off the bat, are you a true Star Wars fan? No, I don't know.
That was atrocious.
I've spelt it wrong as well. So Leia. I wanted to start this off because we didn't actually talk about this last night after going to the film. She actually had two opportunities to die in the film.
Three.
Yeah. So I counted. So the first one was when she got when Kylo Ren. Oh, hang on. Oh, okay. All right. Before we do this, spoilers. Holy shit! Wow, that was close. I'm gonna time stamp this so you can jump past the spoilers.
No, the whole thing's gonna be spoilers.
Pretty much.
Watch the movie.
We'll watch the movie. Don't listen to this before you watch the movie. We're probably not going to, judging by how many view count we do get on each video.
Don't be so negative, Daniel.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Christ,
we'll do a little bit of spoiler free or attempted spoiler free talk.
That's not gonna work.
No.
No.
Let's just say from this point on, spoilers ahead. We'll say when spoilers are not done.
Yes.
So it's your fault if you listen from this point on. You're an idiot. Okay.
Yeah. Don't be an idiot.
Just go.
Okay. All right. So when back to my first point, Leia had a couple of opportunities to die. The first one being when Kylo Ren was going to bomb her, but decided not to. His two wingmen proceeded to do the deed for him. And she gets blasted out into space. We all think she's dead, She kind of had this. It was kind of a cool moment. You're like, oh shit, didn't see that coming.
Yeah.
It was pretty good.
I thought that was cool too.
It was cool. And then she awakens the Force properly for the first time in her entire life, and only that one time.
Yeah.
I feel like she's been force sensitive the entire time.
Yes.
This is just the first time
she's always had a connection with Luke.
Yeah, I feel like this is the first time she's had to actually go and actually use the force. She's always been able to sense about this. Is the first time she's
on screen.
On screen, yes.
Yeah.
It's kind of been the theme of this movie series, or especially the 7th movie on, is that people just are suddenly able to use the Force. I mean, Rey in the first movie, Leia in this one, the kid in the end of this movie. It's kind of, there's no necessary training to obtain the Force unless, I don't know.
Well, there is a
Leia
little
had
bit
some
of training
training.
to get better with it, really.
Yeah.
Midichlorians.
So that was her first opportunity, and that whole sequence of her waking up was cool, but it kind of ruined it for me. I was kind of okay with it because I know that we all know Carrie Fisher's dead. Sorry to break that one to you as well. I feel like they missed opportunities just to give her a good send off and end it there. The second one being when what's her face, the new general lady comes into power, and then decides to what would you suicide
Warp drive
bomb the
into
ship.
the
Warp drive into
Snoke's ship.
into Snoke's ship, which was awesome. Like and the
That was
the,
sick.
The second that like they were arguing over Princess Leia and this general who I can't remember the name of. Liam, you're the name guy.
Huh?
No?
Oh, who's that? Who's
Yeah,
Admiral Jack?
the purple-haired lady.
Her name's Admiral Holdo.
Admiral Holdo. So they're having an argument about who is going to fly the ship into it. I feel like they should have just given it to Leia. It would have been another great send-off.
Yeah,
it's a good
that would've.
opportunity to write her out of the story without having any kind of backlash. And General Holdo, or whatever her name is, Admiral Holdo, could have been just as poignant kind of lead female in all of the following scenes in the base, giving the speech about hope, meeting Luke Skywalker, all that kind of thing. Didn't need to be Carrie Fisher. It could have been Admiral Holdo. I felt
That's fair.
that's fair.
Yeah,
I feel like I'm talking a lot.
you are.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Absolutely
this
so far.
is a good opportunity for you to talk some, Reed, because I don't even remember the third opportunity.
I thought third opportunity came when they were heading up to the Millennium Falcon,
Yes.
and Leia sort of stopped outside it,
Yeah.
and I thought she was going to turn around and say, "I've got to slow him down because he's coming," kind of thing. So I thought, it's going to finish the job and go full dark side.
Yes. No, that's a good point. Yeah, she could have just bolted back, but I feel like Rey would have stopped her no matter what sort of thing. Rey would have gone, I reckon, instead of Leia.
I feel like everyone would have tried to stop the princess from going.
Yeah.
Perfectly honest.
And she would have hobbled back 10 meters and he would have caught up because she was using a cane. Do they not have those like cool little hoverboards in the future? I don't know. So yeah, missed a few opportunities to end a character probably the right way instead of, I don't know what they're going to do in the ninth one to
Well, what are they going to do?
what are
Have
they
they
gonna do?
have they filmed it like Lord of the Rings, where like they done the second and third at the same time? So
No.
that maybe they've
No,
got some scenes.
they haven't. I don't think they've started filming because it's 2 years away.
Yeah, they
Yeah, I
said
don't know.
they said originally that she was going to have a bigger role in
Yes.
episode 9, but they're trying to work out what they're doing. This is just after she passed. So, we don't actually know. Oh, there were ample opportunities to send her off, to give her a good send off. I reckon going in the cruiser and like beaming into the cruiser would have been a fantastic way.
Fantastic way.
That would have been a good heroes send off, and then you just swap the places with the admiral.
Yeah.
But whatever. They must have a plan. I don't know how they're going to do it unless they do that weird CGI shit they did from Rogue One and CGI her in. Don't know if that's going to work though.
I think it is coming a long way. Like for most part of Rogue One, when you see Tarkin, you don't overly notice it.
I actually forgot he was even CGI.
Yeah, there you go. See, they can do it. Especially with older characters. I think it works better with older characters when they have more wrinkles to kind of hide the CG stuff. When it's like actually young people like Paul Walker and young Carrie
Yeah, that was
Fisher.
awful.
Paul Walker was terrible.
To be
Young
fair, though,
Carrie
that was
Fisher
the beginning of the
okay. Sorry?
That was like the Paul Walker shit was at the beginning
Yes.
of what they were trying to do. So it's understandable that it's not going to be the best one, and it's going to take time for that stuff to get better.
And Disney
There are
have
people
been doing
working
it for a while with Marvel characters.
Have they?
Yeah, well, they did it with the Hank Pym.
Oh yeah, of course.
He was youngified in the beginning of that movie.
Ant-Man.
Ant-Man, yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I guess it's doable to CGI on, but it's just not going to be her. We're all going to know it. And it's just kind of,
Yeah.
they had a great opportunity and they missed it.
That was a great scene when they jumped that ship into
Yes.
Snoke's
Oh
ship.
man. Although, like, with that, wouldn't that just happen all the fucking time?
Yeah, you just program droids to just launch ships into other ships.
That's a great one. Or like, if they actually just start flying to another destination, wouldn't they just hit things all the time?
Then that's what it takes like time to program the jump.
Right.
Yeah, they've got to calculate their way through the star systems.
Hit the needle.
Yeah.
Another couple of death scenes that were kind of poignant to the film. By the way, if you haven't stopped watching, we've told you this is spoiler heavy. Okay, so
Your own fault.
yeah, your own fault. Luke dies, doesn't die, and then dies again in this movie. So
Why?
so it's great. The whole thing is great because Luke pops up out of nowhere. You're just like, okay, cool. Luke's here. He's got a different haircut. He's changed clothes. All this kind of things happen. You don't really think about it until later, and then you realize that he's actually projecting himself across the universe, across the galaxy.
You don't realize it
till Kylo slices him.
sticks him.
Well, I actually, when he first sliced through him, you see this little blue flash sort of thing, and then he's like, "What the fuck?"
And when the walkers
that makes sense now that he just took all that damage without even doing anything.
Yeah, but we knew Kylo could stop a bolt, maybe create like a force shield, and it was all just hitting there.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I thought was going on.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like you have ways to explain it before you realize what's going on, so you don't actually realize what's going on. Kylo Ren stabs Luke Skywalker in the chest. Nothing happens, and then you find out that Luke is safe across the other side of the galaxy. He says to Ren, "I will see you again," and then proceeds to cough and splutter his way to a grisly old man's death. Which they did the whole Jedi fading away thing, which was kind of cool in a way, because you know he's going to come back as a ghost. I mean, you know they're not done with him, especially now that they've lost Carrie Fisher as well. I mean, there's no... Especially when they doubled down with the Yoda ghost in this film. Spoilers, by the way.
Yeah, is it? I still reckon that's the doll from the original trilogy.
I don't know. I think it's probably a remake.
The puppet.
I don't even think it was a doll, to be honest. I think it was mostly CG. It looked very CG-ish. It didn't look very good CG-ish either.
You're Googling
it didn't look like it was a puppet, and it looked too much CG, and it was just really sort of odd. So,
maybe it's the glow that was CGI.
Yeah, I think it was the glow that was CGI in the actual...
Maybe they would have tried it.
I just feel like, again, they missed a good opportunity to have Luke be ultra powerful sort of thing and then not die. I don't know. I can kind of understand it now because like he literally imposed himself on another point of the galaxy where everyone could see him. Like it wasn't like a Jedi mind trick on a single guy. It was like a full on Jedi mind trick on like 100 people and a planet. So it's pretty impressive that he was able to do that. I just don't get why they had to do double fake out.
That fucked me off.
He died and then he didn't die and then he died again. Like,
it was a great twist.
It was a triumphant moment. It was like you said, it was a great twist. And then they kind of just took all the steam out of it by actually killing him.
Yeah, that sucked.
Yeah.
Not happy about it.
Not happy about that, but...
He'll just come back as a Force Ghost for the next movie.
Yeah, I feel like... and that's just going to be all the way through that movie, just Force ghosting it up. It's going to be in a bar in Tatooine, just he's going to be dancing in the background as a ghost, because no one can see him except for Rey. Could you imagine the trolling that'll be going on in the 9th movie? Because, like, another weird thing is they did, like, a good amount of humour in this movie as well. Like, I don't think I've seen that much humour in a Star Wars movie.
It messed with the tone, though.
It did a little bit.
The opening scene with the bombers.
Yeah.
Oh, side note, how the fuck do the bombs work without gravity? They're in space and they slide out of the...
Well, no, the ship has its own gravity, and it's inside of a shield. Like, the shield is surrounding the ship, it's keeping the oxygen in, and it's creating a gravity field. That's why when she was inside the ship, she fell down the ladder to the bottom.
But why wouldn't the bombs just stop when they hit outside that shield?
Trajectory. Also, wouldn't they fall into another shield of, like... Well, they were inside the shield of the Dreadnought, so that would create more gravity, or, like, standard gravity sort of thing. There's sci-fi ways to get around that, but they're riddles.
It just annoys me a little bit.
Yeah, okay. What's the point that you found interesting, Liam?
I have a quote that was ripped off the GameSpot review, which I think sums up my feelings of it personally.
Okay.
So let me read it out
So
to you
it's not
guys.
the
You guys can
entire
review.
film. Your feel of
It's-
the entire film.
Yeah, I feel like it sums up what I feel about it. So let me read it. There are entire schemes, mutinies, and double crosses that serve only to tread water, while the last Jedi's many moving pieces all get into place for a finale that is admittedly awfully grand. That essentially sums up how I feel about it. It's like all these double crosses and whatnot, and tap dancing and whatnot, trying to double find everybody, and then the ending is just sort of the best part of it. So it's, I feel like it's just a journey to get to the end. Yeah, I feel like it's just they were tap dancing around everything a little bit. Too much.
Yeah, and I felt like that in the middle sequence, especially like Finn and Rose going away to find this dude in the casino. That was like
Unnecessary.
it was just completely unnecessary.
Yeah,
Like,
they could have made it as short as finding Han Solo
Yeah,
in the first movie.
yeah, exactly. Like it didn't have to be 20 to 30 minutes of the movie.
Yeah, it's awful.
It was, and like, what did you think of the Rose character? Did you? And she's replaced Finn now. She's like, they ended the 7th movie with Finn in a Bacta tank, and now Rose is in a Bacta tank at the end of the 8th movie.
How did he drag her back that fast?
That far? That's a long.
While they
distance.
were being shot at too.
And
It was
there's
like,
and there's a Jedi battle going on in the middle as well.
Yep.
He's just like. just
Ignore me.
Ignore
like,
me.
just go around. Hi, how are we go?
How's it going, Kylo? I've met you before.
Hi, strange person. I don't know.
Yeah. I didn't realize that Poe had never met Rey.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
like the first time that they met. I did not like click to that until they were like, "Hey."
I feel like they might have bumped into each other on the base before she left, but probably not.
'Cause
Like maybe just a
he
person like,
saw-
hi, how are you? And just walk past.
They were literally on that planet together in the first Rebel base when Finn landed there and gave Poe Dameron's jacket back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, at the end they did. They were on the same base, but then she left almost straight away.
Right.
She changed her clothes, then left straight away. So it's like they might have bumped into each other on the landing pad or in a corridor or something, but not enough to like have a sit down chat. So
I feel like Finn is getting less and less pertinent to the entire film. I feel like Poe is great. I like Poe.
Poe's a good character.
Rey is great. I like Rey.
Yeah.
Kylo's awesome. Well, I mean, other than his tantrums. Well, that's kind of cool. They're kind of cool. I like those tantrums that he has. I like how he throws Hux around a couple times. It's good. Yeah, I mean, I'm struggling to find why Finn is still a main character in the series. And they're drawing like 20 to 30 minutes spent on him gallivanting across the universe, sort of thing. It's it's just hard to talk about because
Diversity.
yeah, they were like, oh shit, we don't have an Asian character. Oh no, get Rose in there. Oh, even better, interracial. Get them to love each other.
Let's create a shit character
Yeah,
who just miraculously does everything.
she does miraculously do everything because
Fucks
you
it
were
up,
saying
though.
this the other night, like last night, that she's an engineer. A guard basically, and then they throw her into a ship, and she's like an ace pilot against.
And she can write those weird things in the casino planner.
Yes, she can ride.
Just perfectly.
Yeah, no worries. Jockey, fucking
She's a jack of all trades.
jack of all trades.
yep.
Mr. Del Toro was put in this film. I did not realize he was gonna. I actually forgot he was cast. I remember him being cast a while back. I forgot he was gonna be in this movie. When he turned out to be in this movie, I was like, "Oh, cool!" And then it kind of,
Then nothing really happened.
yeah, like
He sort of
is he
threaded
supposed to be the
whatever
new Phasma? Is he
New
gonna be-
Phasma.
Is he? Well, I mean, you don't really see Phasma die. She kind of.
Well, to be fair, she
falls.
should have done the first one. She'd
Yeah.
gone shoved into a trash compactor. and
Well,
then
we all
cut
know
it.
how those work on people, based on
Not
the
terrible.
4th Star Wars movie.
I don't know. Maybe she'll come back and be covered in like all burns and something.
Oh, that'd be
Her
kinda
armor
cool.
will be like black
Yeah.
or something. I
I,
don't know.
I guess they just give
Lando Calrissian.
Lando Calrissian. Yes, we were talking about that. Yeah.
That's who she is.
It's not
He
who
is, not she.
Who?
The dude that double crossed him.
He's not Lando Calrissian.
Well,
What
that's
are
who he
you
is
talking
from
about?
that movie. He's not
You
saying
mean
he's him. I'm just saying his character's modelled the same as him.
Oh,
Because he double-crossed hard in
Right.
that with Darth Vader.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, but then he ultimately redeemed himself at the end of Empire
Yeah.
Strikes Back. Whereas
Which
this
he
guy
might
didn't.
do in the next movie.
I doubt it.
This
I
guy
doubt we'll see him
is
again, to
a
be perfectly honest. I think
full-on
he'll just vanish.
asshole.
Yeah, I feel like he'll just vanish and we won't see him in the next one
You don't
at
think
all.
we'll see him in the next one at all?
No, I feel like we'll just go. We just won't.
Do you think
Oh,
they could use
it'll
him
be like a
as
throwaway, like,
in a bounty hunter movie or something like that? They're like building the universe so they can use more characters in different
Yeah.
movies.
Nah.
If they're doing that, that's just bullshit.
Make
Yeah.
more money.
Make more money, yeah. Which
Yeah, I
Disney
reckon.
totally needs to do these days with the money they're spending on
Well,
things.
hey, they need to recoup the losses from the 52 billion dollars they
I have
they
I
spent
have
on
trouble
Fox, so it's
saying
like-
that as well. That's a ridiculous
Yes.
amount of money to spend.
gotta recoup that loss somehow.
We're still not actually talking about that yet, though. So,
Okay.
Can we talk about how shit the villains were?
so we had Hux, who was whiny and crying the entire time. We had Phasma, who had an
Sucked.
okay battle with a weird needle thingy.
Needle
but
stuff.
overall kind
Went
of
down
sucked.
like a bitch.
Yeah, went down like a bitch. Yeah, I agree with that one. Del Toro's character, the Master Coded Master, or whatever his name is, he was pretty shit. He was just shit as a person. I think he was actually probably one of the best acted ones.
I was blown away with Luke Skywalker's his performance.
Yeah, really?
I thought that was
I
awesome.
thought he was. I thought he really. I just kept on hearing Joker. Like he's.
Oh, see, I don't watch that much Batman.
Yeah, he's my Joker. Like when everybody's all like, oh, what's his name from the fucking
Mark Hamill.
Christian Bale movies? Oh, he's the real Joker. I'm like, no, Mark Hamill. You don't even know what you're talking
You mean
about.
Heath Ledger?
Yes, Heath Ledger. Yeah.
He's the movie Joker, but not the TV comic book series game Joker.
So yeah, I just kept on hearing that occasionally, and it kind of pulled me out of it a little bit.
Yeah, that's fair.
But I guess he did a good job. I mean, he seemed like Luke, especially towards the end. I felt like he was more Luke-ish. I don't know.
The villains, anyway.
So
Snoke.
Snoke is a punk ass bitch.
That's depressing.
I felt like the way he died was actually really good. I feel like, but the thing is, he was never going to be jumping around and stuff like that, like modern Jedi are, because he looked like an old cunt anyway.
They built him up to be this
Super powerful dude.
crazy,
Which he was.
ancient power,
You get no explanation about who he actually is, which is bullshit.
and he just goes down.
And then he goes down and it's awesome how he's like talking about it, and then you see it coming a mile away, but he doesn't see it, and then chopped in half. It's a pretty cool way to go.
Yep.
But a little bit.
I'm a lot
cheap.
disappointed.
You're a lot disappointed.
They should have utilized him.
They should have.
Yeah,
But like, in what way? He's like the Emperor. He doesn't have any ability to move around. He has like lightning powers, which
Well, then how do you explain Yoda? Yoda was an old little short yellow person, but used the Force to jump around. So, who's to say that Snoke couldn't use the Force to move around like Yoda did? Back
and
in,
he threw
2 or 3.
Kylo Ren around like it was nothing.
yeah. Well, he did that to everybody. His Jedi power, or not Jedi powers, his Force ability was really quite high. He was
Really
quite
strong.
strong.
Yep.
But I guess he just got caught off guard, which is a bit disappointing. But that fight scene that they had after that, though, I felt that redeemed it a
was
little
cool.
bit. That was really cool.
That was
Kylo
really cool.
and Rey back to back fighting the Red Legion, or whatever you want to call them. Are they the Knights of Ren?
No, they were
no,
just
no.
Snoke's guard.
So are the Knights of Ren going to appear again? Maybe because he's now the supreme leader.
Well,
he'll actually
possibly.
use
There
them.
might be the replacement for the
Yeah.
Imperial Guard, the red chaps.
Yeah.
Because we don't actually know anything about the Knights of Ren. No
No.
one's ever explained what they are or who they are or what they do, except they're on the same side as Kylo Ren.
They can have a TV show. I'd be okay with that. Like a cartoon
Animated?
show. Like
I was about to say I hadn't seen anything from these Knights of Ren, so I was like,
They were the guys that are standing around in the first film. You
yeah.
know
I know what you mean, but I was like, shit, has there something happened that I missed?
Yeah.
It's essentially like an offhand line chucked out in the
Yeah.
first movie. Um,
That people
So, yeah,
reach
like-
to.
Oh, it happens a lot in these new films. A lot of things are just chucked around, and then don't gain any traction. I feel like there's just so much happening all the time.
Spin-off
I felt
movie.
yeah, I feel like they just chuck in all that stuff in there just as a seed for like something else. So if someone else wants to come along and do,
Just
oh
to
no, they
build
can make a
the
movie off that
universe.
line, they can.
Yeah,
Sort of
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
So, you know.
How about that kid with the force powers though?
Yeah, it's just a kid.
He's just a kid with force powers though.
It's just Anakin.
He's just a kid with force powers. I guess there's always been people out there who have been able to use the force, right? So I guess it's just. But why doesn't this kid use his force powers
Because
more
he
than
probably-
just pulling a broom towards him?
Maybe he doesn't have like full control or something.
Maybe he
Overall.
just actually doesn't realize it all. He like thinks he's.
Maybe
picking up.
he's 6, and all he can do is pull a broom.
That's a good point.
3 inches.
Yes, yeah. He can lift like a kg 3 inches, and that's about it. I guess that's about all the spoilers that we can really talk about.
So if you're gonna rate it, say out of 10, what would you give it?
Out of 10, I was just gonna go bad, good, or great. But
Alright then. Go on then. Bad, good, or great?
I'm gonna have to go bad.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, oh, as a film, it was good. As a Star Wars in the story, it was bad.
Fair enough.
Oh.
Red's twisting his face a little bit.
I was gonna say bad.
I don't know yet. What do you say, Liam?
I'm gonna just say good.
Good.
Overall, it's just good. It's not great. It's not good. Not bad. It's just good in the
Yeah.
middle. So, yeah. Come on, Red.
Come on, Red.
I was gonna say 6 out of 10.
6 out. It'd be good then. Because
Yeah.
great is like upper echelon sort of stuff.
Well, bad would be like a 1 or a 2. Good would be like 4, 5, or 6.
Yeah.
And then great would be like
Oh.
9, 10.
Yeah. We've
Sort
missed
of
a few
thing.
numbers, but that's right.
It's average.
It is
Yeah.
average, yeah.
I just feel like they didn't handle the characters as well
No,
as they could have.
Yeah. It probably comes down to a writing thing.
Yeah.
It was written by the guy that directed it, Ryan something
Johnson.
Johnson. So I guess maybe it's probably his fault. Maybe J.J. Abrams for not.
That's Disney's fault.
It's Disney's fault.
Disney.
They should have been focusing on this film rather than trying to buy the world. What is your feeling for like the rest of the Star Wars? Like we've got Han Solo coming out next year. We've got the new 9th movie coming out the year after that, and they are going to keep on piling on. They may even go 2 a year. I'm thinking.
I love a Boba Fett movie.
Oh, I'd love a Boba Fett movie.
Apparently, they are working on a Obi-Wan Kenobi movie.
Oh, I'd love a Obi-Wan
yeah,
Kenobi
that'd be
movie.
awesome.
It came out, I think,
They need a
today.
Qui-Gon Jinn one.
Qui-Gon Jinn movie, a Old Republic movie. They
There's
can
tons, there's
just
tons.
keep doing it. Just keep doing it.
There's-
I think I'm still looking forward to 9, but I've definitely been dampened by this movie a little bit.
Yeah, me too. What are your predictions?
Predictions of what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Kylo Ren is going to literally put on the Darth Vader mask. Like, it's going to be the exact same mask. Because he's got a thing with masks anyway. He destroyed his current
It's
mask.
fetish.
It's his fetish. Yeah, he's gonna put on the mask.
Is Ren gonna turn him? Like
Turn-
Darth Vader arc?
Wait, what? What?
Like turn him to the good side?
Oh, Ray gonna turn.
Sorry,
Ren.
Ray, not Ren.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah, you confused me immediately. Ray gonna turn him to the light side. No, because then they wouldn't have an enemy. There would be no enemy of them fight other than Hux, which Hitler in the future, and Hitler in space, you know. And also, he's a pussy. Like he had the opportunity to shoot Kylo and like just.
No. Kylo woke up.
All right.
He can stop and blast a bolt with his head.
All right. What else would they? I can't even. That's the problem, though. I don't know where they're going with this. I don't know
No,
what is going to happen. I can't from what I've been given, the information I've been given, I can't piece the puzzle together, and that's probably the problem that I'm having mostly with this movie.
What? It's
Yeah.
unpredictability.
Which sounds awesome.
What?
to be
It is
honest.
awesome.
Yeah.
It
It sounds like
shouldn't
a
be
great
predictable.
thing. But I don't know. I just feel like you should be able to, for the center of a trilogy, you should be able to kind of gauge where they're going.
Yeah.
and I just don't feel like I can do that.
No.
No. What about you, Liam? What do you think of the goings on of the 9th movie?
I don't know. They're probably up a creek without a paddle, to be perfectly honest.
You think
J.J.
so?
Abrams is coming back to do it,
Yes.
so I don't know. I don't know how they're going to get around the whole Carrie Fisher being gone. So I don't know. Who the fuck knows? We won't know
Who the
this for
fuck
another
knows?
2
Yeah,
years.
that's exactly
Why
right.
kill Skywalker?
We don't know. They know. They probably
Why
already have
kill
everything
Skywalker?
planned out of room somewhere. I don't know.
Hashtag don't. Hashtag why did you do it? Hashtag I don't know. I don't know.
Hashtag why did you do it?
I guess that's it for Star Wars. Good job, Star Wars. You got a bad good.
You got average.
Yeah.
Which is contradictory to all the professional reviews.
Yes, like everyone loves this movie. I don't get. I've seen a few average reviews, but that's mainly from people that have actually watched it rather than critics. Which
So are we wrong or are they
I don't
wrong?
know. I don't know. I haven't read any of the critics like reviews.
I watched the IGN review.
Did you? But did they bring up any good points as to why it is good?
No.
No. Yeah. They just glazed over the bad facts. Really. They've got Star Wars eyes, or they've got stars in their
Yes.
eyes.
They got the whole rose tinted goggle.
Yeah, I
bullshit
think
Yeah.
so.
going on.
I think as more and more people see it and start doing stuff like what we're doing and pointing out stuff like what we're doing, it's gonna get worse and worse reviews. All right, well let's move on. So, big news drop today. Disney buys 20th Century Fox, and we thought it was going to be like they buy a few little things from 20th Century Fox. No, they literally bought all of 20th Century Fox.
Oh no. I
Wow,
thought it was
no.
the whole thing.
No, hang on. I'm going to stop you right there. They
Okay.
bought the movie part of it and they bought the TV part of it, but they
TV,
left
yeah.
the news stuff, the sports stuff alone.
No, they bought the news. The Sky.
No.
Sky is now owned by Disney.
No, they don't.
Oh,
No, they didn't. I checked this online myself.
oh.
Fox keeps Fox Broadcast Network, and they keep Fox News and Fox Sports 1. Everything else, the TV, they keep. Disney gets Fox 20th Century Fox Films and TV studios, but they don't get the news or the other stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
So again, like,
Dan was wrong. Hashtag Dan.
yes, you were.
Yeah, I can agree with.
Liam. Okay, fact checked.
Fake
They
news.
essentially get the movie library
Yeah.
and the serial TV shows.
Yes.
I have a whole list of what actually happens.
Yeah, no, I've got
What happened
I'd
with
probably not
the
as
TV?
long a list as you do, but I've got a list.
I got some other things as well.
So, X-Men, Fantastic Four, Deadpool, and they've even the one of the big bosses of Marvel
Bob
actually
Iger.
came out and said Deadpool is like still going ahead, and they're even thinking of doing a separate thing called Marvel R, or that's what he hinted at. He said
Yep.
it himself, Marvel R, which.
Yep.
Marvel have done a run of comics in the past called Marvel Max, where they've dabbled in more kind of adult themes, more gritty kind of action and that kind of stuff. A lot of Punisher kind of work going on with that one.
I like Punisher.
I like Punisher too. I'd
So
love
good.
to see like a R-rated Punisher movie with Captain America or some like weird little
Like
cameo.
a crossover.
Yeah.
I don't think they'll do that. I think they'll just keep Punisher as a Netflix or TV show,
Well,
not necessarily make it into a movie,
'cause-
unless they do decide to do something really big with it.
Do you think they're going to keep it on Netflix, or do you think they're going to? Because Disney's doing their own thing soon.
Disney's doing their own thing. There's potential for them to put it onto Hulu and spin
Yes.
Hulu off on its own thing, because now they will own about 60% of Hulu.
No,
But that's American Hulu.
it's
They can make it
30%.
online.
I
No.
just read
'Cause-
an article.
No, because Disney right now owns 30%, Fox owns 30%. So because they're buying both, that makes it 60. So now Disney will have the controlling stake in it. So they could potentially change Hulu completely from being just American only and just blow it out to worldwide and be a direct competitor straight to Netflix.
Right, so I
Don't know how it's gonna work.
I
for
did
every other
read that wrong. So
I can't remember who owns what.
20th Fox had a 39% share in Hulu.
There you go.
Which Disney just bought, so they
Exactly,
now have a
so-
majority rule. Which it used to be between 20th Century Fox, Disney, where I had it here, which which other companies owned parts of it. There was.
There's like 2 or 3 other companies that own a
there
chunk
was
of it.
4 of them
so.
that kind of owned big parts of it, and Disney couldn't do anything without the say so of the other 2.
So that's it.
So Hulu could become basically the Disney thing, or do you think they're still going to do their own thing?
I don't know. They could spin it off and do their own thing. They can make Hulu worldwide.
Yeah.
Who knows? But here's the thing with this whole buyout thing. We're not going to see any noticeable changes to anything for the next year or so, because it has to go through the American courts. It has to go through Department of Justice and a few other places for them to actually confirm it. So we're not going to see Deadly Squat for at least a year or 2.
I don't think we're going to see anything until the end of at least this phase.
Oh no, there'll be nothing till phase 2.
I mean,
sure.
Disney doesn't actually own any Fox shit right now.
No.
They've got to go through the American courts to actually say they do own it. So we're not going to see any movies or anything like that announced till end of next year, or maybe the year after, in 2020 or something like that. So it's all great. They've made the process. They've started the process and said this is what we're going to do. This all could hit a very solid brick wall if the Department of Justice in the United States goes, "No, hey, fuck off. We're not doing that," because because Disney will own. That means Disney will own such a massive share of the entertainment networks in the United States. They could just go like, "I'm sorry, no, that's not going to happen. We can't have that monopoly on one company."
I guess.
No matter what Disney, I'd say Disney is one of the better companies out there. The Department of Justice could say that, whoa, sorry, no, we're not doing that now. So.
Yeah, but then Disney will just buy the government, so that's fine.
Yeah, they'll just lobby them.
Yeah,
that'll be fine.
Yeah, they've got all the money to pay for lawyers. That's fine. So another few things they've got is The Simpsons, Family Guy, Aliens, and all the other Family Guy kind of things. They all run on Fox. Planet of the Apes. There's been a few things that whether those things are actually going to continue or whether they're going to get rebooted, probably.
Well, wasn't Planet of the Apes just finished its trilogy?
I guess so.
Was that a trilogy?
I don't watch the last 2 of those. So
they've done 3 current modern reboots of Planet of the Apes. So apparently it was a trilogy. I don't know if they're going to do more after that and redo the original Planet of the Apes.
Yeah.
So
that would be
very nice.
Cool. As long as they don't bring Mark Wahlberg back to do it again. They also own Blue Sky now, which is Ice Age and a lot of other kind of cartoon movies and stuff like that.
Shit.
Yeah. So
but there's a whole bunch more that you're skipping over as well. They also own the whole Fox movie thing goes back about 80 years. They own Aliens, Predator, Die Hard, the Home Alone series, as well as you mentioned X-Men, Fantastic Four, and Deadpool. On the TV side of things, they own a whole lot. There's Modern Family, Speechless, Simpsons, This Is Us, X-Files, Homeland, American Horror Story, and other shows which I don't know if they're on right now. 24, Buffy, MASH, The Shield. It's a whole lot of shit in that Fox category. So, who knows if they're going to reboot everything? They probably won't.
No.
Probably just leave some things as they are, just take the money from syndication and whatnot. So, there's a lot there.
Yeah, it gives Disney a huge play for online streaming with Hulu.
Yeah.
They take everything they've got from Disney, Fox, everything, put it onto Hulu. You can only get it on Hulu. That's huge.
That is huge.
Yep.
It may kill Netflix. Because there's a lot of other stuff. There's a lot of other stuff that they could get on there just by flashing money at other people as well.
Yeah, that's true.
What was I thinking about? I don't remember.
Could be a perfect storm for Netflix to be in big trouble.
Yes.
Could
With
be.
net neutrality, that just failed. Apparently the government's passed it.
What's that?
So
That doesn't really apply
ISPs.
to us, though, does it?
Sorry?
That net neutrality doesn't apply to us in New Zealand because we've got I don't know how many internet companies here.
It doesn't
Americans
affect
are less an
us.
issue.
But Netflix is biggest in the States.
True.
And if ISPs go, Netflix is using so much bandwidth, that we're going to charge you extra for accessing it, it could kill Netflix off massively. It'll increase their fees and everything.
Because
Good know.
Netflix does bounce people's bandwidths up through the...
Massively, yeah. And then if Disney pull all Marvel stuff off Netflix and put it all on Hulu, it'd be huge.
Huge.
Mm.
It's going to be an interesting couple of years.
Indeed.
Yeah, take a couple of years.
Hey?
It'd take a couple of years.
It will take a couple of years.
Yeah.
But we're going to hear things. I'm sure they'll put plans out there. Comic-Cons are going to be interesting for the next couple of years.
Yeah, they'll reboot the comics too, I'd say. Because they sort of let the Fantastic Four comic die.
Yes, and the X-Men one as well.
X-Men, they sort of let it fall by the wayside a little bit.
But, they just rebooted it.
Hmm.
Like, it just came out as Marvel Classics or something like that. Like, and they've given everyone the original numbers and all that kind of stuff.
Because the timing of this.
That happened like months ago.
Yeah, that was already going on for months, years.
Yeah. Man, imagine the dude, the 80-year-old dude, just being like, just counting his money now. He's been bought out of the industry. He like probably the biggest buyout in history in terms of entertainment history.
Yeah, good old Rupert Murdoch.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, he's a piece of shit. So no, don't.
He's got $52 billion, Liam. You better watch out. He could use that to kill you.
He's a piece of shit. He quite literally is a piece of shit. He's done some dark stuff.
Has
in
he?
his, over in the... you don't know the story. So over in the UK, there's a paper, I think, called the Daily Sun or something, some tabloid thing. Essentially, he authorized someone in his company to hack into a dead girl's cell phone to track her last known location and messages. The problem with that was her family thought she was still alive because her phone was active. There was a whole
they've hacked the royal family and stuff.
there was a whole big court case. He's head of the company or in charge of it or something like that. The guy's just he's essentially a little bit of a piece of shit. I don't know if it was him directly charging or it was the second in charge, what have you.
I think it was in charge of the paper, the person in charge of that specific paper.
Yeah, but there was a big court case with him involved as well, so it's like, I don't think he's necessarily the best person in the world. I think he's done certainly some shady shit.
It's Fox News.
Yes, Donald Trump's favorite thing in the world.
All the fucking X-Men movies that have been average and Fantasy Four movies, blame it on him. It's all good.
Do you reckon the Jins from Game of Thrones can handle being Dark Phoenix?
Sure.
I don't really care at this point. I just want them to end it.
Yeah.
End it, reboot it.
Yeah.
Go back to the classics. I don't know how they're going to add it into
Oh, that'd be awesome. Like Iron Man versus X-Men with their yellow and blue spandex. That'd be great.
I don't think they'll go that far. Like, Jesus
they probably
Christ.
will.
They probably, I'd love it. I think people have been like dying for that kind of shit for ages. Like every time a new X-Men movie comes out, they will. They're like, what are you doing with the costumes? Yeah.
They're different every time, aren't they?
Well, they're black leather every time.
You're right on that one. Who knows? They'll probably recast everything except Deadpool and leave Deadpool as it is.
No, I know. Thanos kills all the Phase 1 heroes.
And himself, because he's Cable and Deadpool.
And out of it spawns the X-Men.
Oh, right. Just use the...
Something he does creates the X gene or whatever.
Oh, yeah. Well, would they reclassify Scarlet Witch as a mutant then?
Well, she'd be dead, so
it's
you'd
experiment.
I guess, yeah, if Thanos did kill everybody, then she'd be dead. So.
And that's kills the universe. No, wait, have Deadpool kill the Marvel universe. Problem solved.
Kills the universe.
Yes!
That'd be good as.
That'd be hilarious.
No, I'm excited for this. This is like the news that I've been wanting for like ever since they started talking to Sony about Spider-Man. I've been like, they have to do this with X-Men. So
that video game was part of the DLA.
It's the Sony, the new one, the new Spider-Man.
The Spider-Man game. Yeah.
I would say
feel
it
like
would
the
be
game's
because it's exclusive.
Yeah, but no, but Sony have owned Spider-Man for a long time, so they've been doing Spider-Man games for a while.
But Activision was doing the game.
Yeah.
And they were multi-platform.
I feel like the games are a completely separate kettle of fish. And a separate thing entirely from the movies. I think the games pretty much sit with Marvel and Disney, I suppose, and then they just get people to license the games, the IPs out to studios, and studios do their own. The game studios do their own things, not necessarily the, like I don't think Fox owns the Fantastic Four game rights or anything like that. Yeah, just the movie rights.
Yeah,
I think.
Marvel's
not an
the
extra
game rights. But I reckon Sony said, you can have Spider-Man, but we want a Spider-Man exclusive game on our platform.
Yeah.
Made by
possibly.
Insomniac.
Who knows?
An interesting thing that I was reading online about this is that so when George Lucas was first making the Star Wars movies, he agreed that that 20th Century would get the rights to the first Star Wars movie, and that he would get the rights to all other Star Wars movies after that point, and merchandising rights and all that kind of stuff.
Merchandising.
So Disney technically didn't have the rights to every movie. Well, they only had the rights from the second movie, from number 2 or number 4, 5, number 5 onwards. Now they've actually gained the rights to the fourth one. So, they're talking about that there might be actual re-releases of the original films without Lucas's tamperings that
That'd
he
be
did.
amazing.
That'd be awesome.
Digital touch-ups.
Yeah. Like a 1080p resolution version of those old movies without any
That would
touch-ups.
still look like shit,
Oh,
though.
yeah.
You know, it'd still look terrible.
We wouldn't have terrible CGI Jabba.
Or we'd have better CGI Jabba. Yeah, Jabba.
Maybe.
Ah.
Yeah.
Disney being the powerhouse that they could go and throw. Right, so what did you do? Okay, well, let's fix that up and make it look better.
That's
And
actually
do a
good
more
point.
accurate, better
Take
graphics.
that
Imagine they
scene
just
now.
remade
Jabba.
those movies.
Jabba.
Like, just remade them. That'd be terrible. Alright,
That would look fantastic,
They would look yeah. Yeah.
but it would be fucking shocking. And I think like the entire Star Wars fandom would march on Disney head office and burn it to
Yes,
the ground,
you're probably
And-
right.
bring up Bob Iger by his ankles.
Yeah.
And all anybody who works on Star Wars, they just murder them all.
Well, I guess that's about it from us from rambling on this. Now we're on to we didn't forget. I didn't forget this part of the show, the most important part of the show, the consumer corner.
Yeah,
I just wanted to be part of it.
terrible, damn.
Yeah, I do have to make a tune for that at some point. I
Yes,
really
you do. You say that every week.
I say that every week. It doesn't get any more like towards happening any week
Jesus
at all.
Christ, just
Um,
auto-tune it or something.
Auto tune it. Oh, maybe I will. I'll just like cut that bit out.
Alright, Kanye.
Add some Reed and Liam laughter into there and just
Oh,
just
Jesus.
auto tune the shit out of it. That'd be great.
Oh.
All right, so I'll start off. My manga of the fortnight is Jinrou Game. It is spelled Jinrou. Game spelled traditionally English. I don't know why I said traditionally. I mean, it's a different language. Whatever. It's basically about a group of high school students who are kidnapped and sent into a room. It's kind of like Danganronpa, if you understand what Danganronpa is.
Nope.
But it's based around. No, you probably won't. But it's
Montekuma.
Thank you. It's based around a game that most people who play board games and things know, which is Werewolf. Have you heard of Werewolf, Fred? Werewolf. It's a card game. No. Have you heard of Werewolf, Liam?
Nope.
Really? I thought
Nope.
you would have heard of this, surely. Anyway, okay, so
I don't do a lot of board
Nerd.
games.
it's basically like it's like a card game where there are a couple of werewolves in a group of villagers and they go around killing the people. Except in this manga, people actually die. Like there's murder, and then they have to decide on who's a werewolf each night and vote on that person and then execute that person. And it kind of dwindles down in numbers very, very quickly. The chapters are still coming out. They're quite far between, and it's good. The characters are fairly alright. They're a little flat, but they're generally okay.
This isn't a highly rated.
Oh, mate, I'm
Recommendation.
scraping the fucking bottom of the barrel for this mangas thing, man. I'm trying to do this every fortnight, but it's hard, okay? When you read so much manga and it all just turns into a blur.
Maybe you should branch out and read some comics or something.
What's the difference? Except
I
manga's
don't know.
better.
They're not Japanese.
They're not Japanese, you know. Well, it'd probably help the writing a little bit. Translators probably aren't the best ones at rewriting comics.
Probably.
Do you have a book or something that you would like to recommend there, Liam?
I don't think I can think of, and I'm well late to the bandwagon on this one. But Fear the Walking Dead.
Okay.
St-
You actually
started
recommend
watching
that?
Yeah, I started watching it. It has the same sort of problems as the main Walking Dead one. Like they make stupid decisions for random reasons. So it's like, okay, whatever. Otherwise, I think the start of it would be fairly accurate to how a zombie apocalypse would start.
Right.
I thought the acting was pretty good. Cliff Curtis is fantastic. Essentially, it starts on the son wakes up in a church for some reason that's been ransacked, and what he doesn't know is that that's where a zombie actually is, which is turns out to be his ex-girlfriend or some shit like that. And it goes to try eating him, and then that's when the zombie apocalypse happens. It's when you notice people start disappearing off the streets, and you see like random disappearances and blood spatters everywhere and that sort of thing. It's just like a quiet start.
Right, so it's literally happening. Like
it's literally happened. Like you know how Walking Dead sort of jumps the shark over and goes like 2 weeks forward. This one starts right at the very beginning.
Where there's
of
like
it.
a couple of zombies and
and then just it's that tipping point, and then just zombies everywhere.
Wow.
Do we know what caused the walking zombies?
Yeah, because they talked about it in the main story. They go to the biological testing area, and they've been trying to test for a cure or something like that. And
they sort of hint at it being like a mutation of a flu cure, like the getting jabs to prevent the flu. They sort of point to that as like a vague sort of hint.
Right.
But they never actually say that out loud, because by the time people start realizing that, that's when shit starts to hit the fan in the most colossal way, and all the freaking zombies start rocking up.
So Fear the Walking Dead.
Fear the Walking Dead. It's pretty good. Hey, and it's got a Kiwi in it too, so hey, you know. Cliff Curtis.
I don't know who that is by name.
He's a Māori actor. Go Google him.
Is he the biggish guy?
He's a Māori guy.
Oh, okay.
You live in New Zealand. Come on, go Google Cliff Curtis.
If he's not Taika Waititi, if he's not the other one, the Star Wars guy.
What, Temuera Morrison? He's been in movies with Temuera Morrison.
Yes, he's the other guy. Yes, okay.
He's the other guy. Yes,
okay,
just
right.
go Google him.
Nah, it's fine. I figured it
out. Sure you did.
Stop being racist.
All right, Red. Since this is your first time on the show, what is something that you've consumed in the last fortnight that you would recommend to others to consume?
KFC.
KFC? No, not literally. Jesus.
Oh.
Like a movie or a book or a TV show or a game or
a toy,
something along those lines.
Something that you've gone out and you've spent actual money on. Most of these things I don't spend actual money on. I'm not gonna say it, but
Because you're a cheapskate.
Yeah.
Punisher. Best Marvel Netflix show.
Okay.
By a mile.
All right. Cool.
I will agree.
Fantastic. Great show.
Great show. You think this is the best one?
Oh, but what's better?
Daredevil season 1?
No.
Daredevil season 1 is really good. Boring.
Boring as fuck.
Okay. All right. Well, I haven't watched Punisher yet, so maybe I'll actually.
Maybe you should.
I have downloaded it, so I mean, I have booked it on Netflix, but I'll.
Oh, is that right?
That's what you mean.
Sound like it.
Yeah, that's totally what I mean. All right. Well, that was another. Fuck, what did I name this thing? Thinning Out Loud podcast for the books done. So we will see you all next fortnight. Big round of applause for Mr. Red himself coming in.
Thank you, team.
Talking about
Please
Star
don't
Wars
hate me.
with us, coming to the movie with us last night.
It's not my fault. Star Wars sucks.
Yeah, it's not his fault. Don't blame him for his opinions, or any of us actually, in that matter. Have a good night. If you're watching, you're probably not, but when you do, maybe we'll be big. Oh, okay, all right.
You're negative Nancy.
Oh, well, I'm just good at that.
Why are you so negative?
Because every single one of these has 0 views on YouTube. Like, not a 1.
Wait, so when
everyone's gonna
tweet,
start somewhere.
Who the fuck is replying to the tweets?
Huh?
Bots.
Do we actually get replies to our tweets? I don't know. I think Aiden does tweets, or no, I automatically have the tweets going out, but no one fucking replies to them.
Get this on fucking
I don't do
iTunes.
social media. I actually don't understand how that kind of stuff works. I need a manager. I think we've all got the talent. I think the 3 of us probably have got the talent to do this, but
so I just wasted.
There's no
4 hours of my life.
4 hours.
Well, by the time I drove here.
Yeah, no, I guess you get to drive from wherever you live.
There's no like organization around it. I'm not a terribly organized guy. You probably know this by now, Red.
That's fair.
Knowing me for a while.
Just name this. The Star Wars spoiler class.
No, I was thinking of you did it really well last night, and I was like, that's the title. Fuck Star Wars. That's.
Hey, come on! Don't be so negative.
It's gonna get us views at least. I mean, surely.
But we weren't that negative.
No, we weren't that negative. The fuck Star Wars, actually not that bad. Well, I'll figure out something better for it. Oh well, thank you for listening. If you have been listening, and
If you're still here, I'm sorry.
yeah, I mean this is pretty unbearable at the moment. Peace out. Goodbye. Peace out. Yeah, and now you say goodbye like the normal human being.
Goodbye.
There you go.
See ya.
There you go. All right.